Hello, and welcome to the W.A.I.T channel. What Am I Thinking? A podcast where two sisters share uplifting conversations on fun and sometimes serious topics.
Join us each week by clicking the notification bell and subscribing to our channel. If you enjoy the show, use the share link. It's one of the best ways to expand the conversation. Hello and welcome back to the W.A.I.T channel. What am I thinking? Well, today we are thinking about Bravo's Winter House. I don't know what season is this, Tracy. Is this season 3?
3 or 4.
Okay. Well, whatever season it was, it started off and I wasn't sure I was going to like it. I kind of thought that they had a mishmash of casts from too many places within the Bravo verse, but it kind of grew on me. What do you think, Tracy?
Yeah, it turned. I still did not love the popping in and out people who were there for just a flash. I would have rather, they either stuck with the core people or even done the way Tom Schwartz did, gone for just a hot second and then come back. But it worked out okay. But I think they could have done without several of the below deck people popping in overnight.
Okay, I can agree with that. So the episode that we're going to discuss today, we're not going to do a full recap. We're going to kind of just jump around with some things that were going on because the final episode was a hot mess. So I think that we can feel free to jump around and just talk about some of the mess.
And we can talk about the way it played out the reunion as well.
Absolutely. That's what I was going to say, because that's one thing I enjoyed about it is that we got the finale and the reunion followed immediately after the finale episode. So, in the house, there were some pretty good dynamics. I loved Benny from Family Karma. I think he did a really good job showing up on the show. He was the same person that we loved. Did I say his name right, Tracy?
Yeah, Brian.
I called him Benny.
Well, that's his last name.
Okay.
That's okay.
I knew I was getting Benny from somewhere. Okay.
He would answer.
Okay. Well, I mean, Brian is just so lovable, and I so want for him to find his special person. So not that only he can make his parents happy, but I really think once he settles down, he's going to be a really good catch. But I wasn't so sure in the beginning whether or not he was going to mesh with this group, but he did a pretty good job.
It took him a minute to get there. And I mean, you could see it was going to be a little off with him and Alex coming in as the Florida boys, and their versions of their friendship was polar opposite. Back to the early episode, but he survived and even thrived at the end.
So who do you think created the most drama? I know who I feel created the most drama. Who do you think created the most drama?
Created or acted on it? The person who created the drama was Alex. The person who acted upon it was Danielle.
So I would say if we had to choose a male and a female, you're definitely correct about Alex, but I would say Corey is a close second to Alex.
He is, but it was till the more, well, no, he had that moment where Jordan was crying. So yeah, a little bit, but yeah, I was going to say his was more towards the end. Whereas Alex was steady from day one.
Okay, right. So we know that Alex I really feel that if he could have his perfect world, it would have been a hookup with Jordan, because from day one, even in his drunken state, he saw her as someone that he wanted to pursue. But Jordan is on her celibacy journey, and I applaud her for that. I applaud her for not looking at the 2 weeks that they spent there as an opportunity to just be free willy nilly, because we know for one particular cast member, things didn't work out so well for her hooking up, because it was not casual. And I know that we kind of have different points of views on what Alex and Danielle did, but I'll let you give kind of the backstory of their hookup, and we'll just bring it. You can bring it on to the end of what happened with Alex and Danielle in our finale episode.
Well, actually, I would just like to say I wish that Alex would have just had a conversation with Danielle, whether it was before they had sex or soon after, to say, hey, I am a flirtatious person. I may not be having sex with Jordan, but I am probably going to do a lot of flirting with her and other girls. And if you can't handle that, then maybe we should not.
Now, Trace,
there were plenty of opportunities to have a similar conversation, but they both poorly tiptoed around the facts of what was happening. Very poor, both of them.
I just want to interject this one quick thing, and I'll let you continue summing up that relationship. And I think for us, because, we're older, and we can look at behavior from a completely different perspective, understanding actions and consequences. And you're right. That is exactly what Alex should have done. But I question whether or not he has the thought process and the vocabulary to have pulled all that together and express that to Danielle in a way that she would understand.
100% agree. I agree. But it would have been nice to see a little bit of effort. And even if he couldn't have done it, I wish Danielle could have done a better job of communicating how she was experiencing the way he was showing up. And guess what? Just because you had sex with him one time didn't mean you had to keep on having sex.
Thank you. So amen.
He has to ownership of that.
Absolutely. She kept going. And it's like, even when things would happen, she kept going back.
Yeah. I hated that for her. So in reality, I would never even have to mention Jordan if they had, one of them had the real conversation early on that needed to happen. But in talking about Jordan, she shut Alex down in the hot tub right out the gate, made it aware to everybody else right out the gate, which initially Danielle sent Alex back to kind of say, hey, if that's what you want, try to get it and don't come here. But he knew he wasn't going to get that. So what does he do? He goes ahead and hooks up with Danielle. But with Jordan, I feel two ways about it. And basically it's based on the fact that her and Danielle were supposed to be friends. And once again, there's so many conversations that they were having with other people that they should have been having with each other. Agreed. And that really kind of ticked me off, because girls are supposed to be better at communicating with each other, and neither one of them did. Now, the whole thing of when Danielle overheard Alex saying the horrible, I can't even remember what the sentence was he said about Danielle, something about, I can't stand her, or she, something. You remember that when he was talking to Jordan in the hallway and Danielle overheard them?
I remember him saying something. It wasn't nice, but I can't remember exactly what he said.
Right. And to me, I was like, Danielle, if you let that boy touch you again after hearing that, what is wrong with you? But he did get to touch her again after. And I don't think she ever made them aware that she heard that. And I don't think it ever came up at the reunion. And he should be ashamed of himself for that. That was not nice.
But you know what?
That's scary.
It for him, it was about the sex. It was sex. And I think, when he tries to rationalize what he did or how he did it in those moments, and he even said in his confessionals about, I was weak. So he came in the house knowing that he wanted to hook up and have sex, and that's exactly what he did. When I think about Danielle and the position that she put herself in, and we as the viewers knowing that she was coming in right off of a pretty sad breakup, and that she said she wanted to get her mojo back. And in viewing her, to me, it wasn't just about getting the mojo back. It was this manic type of behavior that she had. And it was coming from a place of loss and grief. This is your wheelhouse. What do you think, Tracy?
Yeah, for sure. She had not grieved the loss of the relationship with Robert and him. She honestly thought that there was still a window of opportunity to pursue that relationship and reconcile. And he shut her down. She came in hurt and vulnerable. And she wore that all season. And that was a lot of the ups and downs that we saw with her. Because even though, the saying, the best way to get over someone is to get under someone else, it's a falsehood. Because you are still putting yourself in a position to be hurt, because a lot of people feel like they can have just emotionless, just physical, straight up sex, and it doesn't bother them one way or the other. It's just something that they're doing. And that's a misnomer. It's really not the truth. People don't look deep enough to see how it's affecting them. They just keep moving and keep doing. And she's not somebody that was able to do that clearly. And it's not a healthy thing to do anyway. So I want to believe she learned a lesson. But
I would say from that, watching the reunion, the resolution that I really felt I wanted to see that would have, for me, demonstrated that she learned a lesson, I didn't see it. I saw someone painting on a smile because they know they made a fool of themselves, and she just wanted to go out not looking as bad as she did the entire season.
And she did say the right thing, that the relationship that mattered to her was the one with Jordan. She said the right thing, but her emotions and the things that she said made me feel like your relationship with Jordan is not going to be healed if you're still this triggered by what you feel she did.
Absolutely.
So she's got work to do. And unfortunately, with Hubbard back at her side, she's going to be back on Hubbard duty and not on Danielle duty. So the self-care probably will not happen.
So anyway, enough of them. I loved Katie and Schwartz. And I know that based on what they said in the reunion, they're keeping it just casual, keeping it just friends. But Katie is a person from Down Under. I really enjoyed her on the show. It was really fun seeing her and Malia in a completely different setting, where it was just funny how they said they were getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning cleaning because
Right.
that was so much a part of their real life job. And production is like, nobody's up, go back to
Go
sleep.
back to sleep. Yeah, I thought that was cute. Yeah.
And now the one that I don't really feel I got to know anything about was Casey.
I think I did. I mean, Casey is a person that flies by the seat of her pants, and she is young, but yet she has done a lot in her little short window of life. She lives loud and hard. And I think she was there strictly to have fun. And I was glad to see her little hookup with Brian at the end. I think they both needed that.
That was cute.
It was. And I loved the way she tried to make up for calling Sam trash, and from her little group chat or whatever she was a part of. And, she had some reckless moments, some kind of crazy moments. She didn't get a ton personal. I would agree with that. So we didn't get a ton of deep insight into her, but I think we saw enough to say that she's a loose cannon.
I agree.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have, I don't know, experienced a little bit more from her, because I think that there's something deeper behind who she is. So we'll see if they let her come back next time. Now the couple, the VIPs, the couple that has come a long way, Kyle and Amanda.
For sure.
And
I enjoyed them. Neither one of them were too much either way. Even Kyle, for him, his partying was a little reined in.
very much. Yeah.
And so, and Amanda popped in long enough. She came late because she was sick, and she was a trooper, because you could tell even when she got there, she still wasn't her best. So she was a trooper, and I think they handled things and maintained Winter House decorum very well. It was nothing out of the way. I have nothing bad to say about either one of them.
Yeah, I as a couple, we
They've
saw,
grown.
yeah, so much so, from the very beginning of Summer House, when she was literally the booty call.
Right.
Just to see them now and how they have grown in their relationship, I'm so happy for them, and I'm just really hoping that all the things that they're hoping for in their marriage, that they achieve it, because they've come such a long way. And the last person that I really we kind of brushed over, Corey, a little bit. We brushed
Yeah.
over him, and when his girlfriend arrived, and I hate that in that moment of the drama with Malia and the flirtation that she was told from Danielle about Jordan. I hate that that's how she had to get Corey to say, "I guess I'm your boyfriend."
Yeah.
Because clearly at the reunion, she's still crying over it. It felt to me like it was still fresh for her.
But we heard one of the things about Corey is he likes to do things on his own time and does not like to feel for. So for him to go ahead and say it, that was a huge deal for him too. Because
But does it make you trust it, Tracy?
It does, because I think he wanted to do this outside of Winter House. I don't think he wanted to have to define it, sort of like with a bad taste in their mouths, because he knew he messed up. He knew he messed up, but he did one of my proud moments for him was when he called Casey out, when he found out what she had been saying about Sam.
Yeah, I agree.
Know that you defined this relationship. You just want to see if there's a way for you to still have fun. And him inviting, he didn't have to invite Sam out. He could have avoided that.
I agree.
He wanted her. So his intentions were right. His delivery, he had a lot of missteps, but overall his intention and his heart was in the right place.
I think the conversation that he had with his father on the slopes, and his father encouraging him not to miss out, and him feeling like, he wanted to focus on work and all of those things first, it kind of made me want to pause for a moment, because I know sometimes men and women, they can have their time frame in their head, not really taking into consideration the person that they're with. And it's like, are you wasting their time? Is your time frame lining up with their time frame? And in that moment, that's what I kind of felt, because I'm sure for Sam, if he were to get on a knee tonight and propose, she would be saying yes.
Yeah. But I don't know. She might need a minute, because, like she said, every day. We're talking about it every day. So, sister is still hurt. She's still hurt. So she might need a little bit. They might have a long engagement. She might say yes, but it might be a long engagement, because she was hurt. She was hurt. And I'm sure watching it back didn't make it easier for her.
Because he was just as flirtatious.
Yeah, she came in guns blasting to, and as much as Malia says that it would not have gotten intimate, I don't know if I believe that.
Well, I can remember Malia's down below deck history.
Two boys, and could not break up with one once she started liking the other.
Right.
So that's why I say I don't know if I buy that.
I agree.
He has grown and matured, but I still think he probably may not have made it all the way to home, but they could have done some heavy petting.
I mean, so overall, when this first came on and I saw the cast, I really did not think that I would buy into it, but I wanted to watch for a couple of reasons. I really, really liked Danielle from Summer House, and I hated how Summer House ended for her, and I was so rooting for her. And then to find out, what actually was going on this season, I just thought, oh, dear Lord, Danielle, can you ever get a break?
Right. Yeah, it doesn't seem like it, does it?
No. But I did enjoy it. And like I said, I love the fact that they did the finale and the reunion back to back,
That was fun.
Yeah.
Like that, Lori. I enjoyed that as well.
So
the only thing I say, though, is I give Jordan kudos, because she was friends with Danielle, but her show had not even aired yet, which I didn't realize that. So I give her kudos for being the only Black girl in the house and coming in really as an unknown. And so I give her grace for whatever she did, because I know that, I go back to Sierra and what that was like for her, and the way she came in as a friend of Mr. Minnesota right now. But so I give her grace for any missteps and extra flirtiness or whatever, because I think even though there was nothing romantic with Alex, I think she did find a really good friend in him and somebody she could be herself with.
Which, Martha's Vineyard, it's like I can't even remember the episodes, but if I'm not mistaken, wasn't she a little flirty on that program?
I believe that's part of her personality, but she was very clear about her not having romantic interests. Once someone was showing it her way, she let them know whether she was there or not there. She didn't kind of play with their emotions, you know. She kind of let them know, you can shoot your shot, but chances are it ain't going nowhere.
And that's the reason. It's like all of the things that she did, I believe she made it clear there will be no sex. So it was just a game with her. And I think for her, and for her to have been a celibate as long as she was saying, that could be where she was getting her gratification from.
Could be. Well, she said there was, I want to say there was a comment about something related to that, something along those lines, but she's a single girl. The only true couple in the house was Kyle and Amanda. So in reality, everybody else was up for grabs. They really were. And so I think what we have learned is what we already know. When you're adulting, communication matters. It's a must. And having all these conversations with individuals who are adjacent to the incident or situation, but not a party to it, nothing. So quit wasting your time having all these side conversations and talk to the people you really need to talk to.
And friends with benefits, you just got to be careful with that.
And it doesn't work.
I agree.
Somebody's going to get hurt. So leave it alone.
So I'll let you close it out, Tracy.
So this is our Winter House sort of season in review. We did not go back through all the episodes, but we tried to highlight the characters and things that happened. So comment, let us know what you think. Are you Team Jordan, Team Danielle, Team Alex? Hopefully not. What do you think about the way Corey handled things with Sam? And would had Malia have been able to say no to a Corey? Let us know what you're thinking, because we definitely enjoy telling you what we are thinking. Happy holiday. And we will see you in 2024 and tell you again what we are thinking.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely ours and should be taken as such. Our thoughts are intended purely for entertainment purposes. Please do not take anything we say as fact or advice. Thank you for listening.